Hey there, guys. It's Mia here. I am so excited. So excited about this topic today. I'm going to teach very simply today how to stop doing it all and how to start doing less well is something that I live by. I'm Mia Redrick, business and life consultant. I got started in my company over 20 years ago. I made a decision that I wanted to figure out how to take my knowledge as a corporate trainer and my systems in motherhood and package those into a high ticket offer or service as a coach, as a speaker, as an online educator, as a media personality. I'm working with corporate brands, and I've done exactly that. And over the years, over the last 20 years, I made a decision that I couldn't coach myself. I went literally to a small business resource center in my town, and I met with the director and shared my idea, mom coaching. And I was told that my idea, mom coaching, that no one would ever pay me to coach mothers. And I want you guys to lean into this because if you've got that out of the box idea, I know you are. If you're watching me, you're a giant in every single way. You've likely thought about something that doesn't already exist because that's what we do. That's how we think. And I was told my idea was laughable and that no one would ever pay me. And I remember my feelings feeling hurt at the time, but I learned one important thing is never listen to someone who is not in a position to support your dream. And I kept looking for someone to help me. And I ended up going to a live event that changed my entire life. And it was the first time I ever saw someone doing exactly what I wanted to do, which was coaching. Hey, Kay, Linda, I'm so glad you're here. And I signed up to work with her, and I had one huge problem. This is 20 years ago. I did not have the money. I didn't have the money. She was charging $1,000 an hour. And I had no idea how I was going to work with her, but I knew I needed to because what she represented for me was a model of what I wanted to do in my business. And she was living in a way that was congruent with my dream. She was free. And I wanted my mentor to be free. I wanted a mentor that was free and had evidence of it. I signed up to work with her, and the rest is history. I've built an amazing practice, having coached thousands of women literally around the globe. And I help my clients very specifically take their knowledge and how to elevate their knowledge into a high ticket offer that they can offer as a coach, a consultant, a trainer, a course creator. They can license their content. They can do all kinds of things. A lot of my clients have done significant media or corporate deals with brands. And I show them not only the techniques, but I teach only what I've done personally. And I can provide evidence of it. And it's something that's really important to me. If you've been watching me, you know how important I think this is. There's so many false experts on television. There's so many false experts on social media as well. And you don't know what is real. So you got to ask for proof, okay? Proof, hashtag proof. That's what we're going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to talk about how to stop doing it all and to start doing less well is something I know a lot about. Building your life, right? Like in a way that's congruent with your values. Building a business around the life you want to live. So many of us don't understand this. We've been building businesses based on hustle and grind. Hey there, Paula, around hustle and grind, and it doesn't work. So many of us have a mindset that says you got to be twice as good, you got to work twice as hard, and you think this your entire life, and you're trying to understand, why am I burned out? Yeah, Smith, you're amazing. And what, and it just doesn't work. So today I'm going to break this all the way down, and I can tell you that if you've had the superwoman complex, it might just hurt your feelings today. But I hope that as a result of what I shared, that I shake your shoulders enough that you understand that in love, that I have to talk to you because I already know you're smart, you're sharp, you're brilliant, you're amazing, that everywhere you go, you're sought after because of your talent, your skills, and your ability. And likely you don't have anyone in your world that's challenging you to live an incredible life, a highly leveraged life. And you know that you've been compromising on lifestyle in tremendous ways because like literally, okay, because you're working so hard or you're working so much or you're doing what you've got to do to provide for your family, and it became something that is just not sustainable for you to continue doing this for the next 10 years. And while you love what you're doing, you know that there's a better and higher way, and no one's calling you out because you're paying the bills. Nobody's calling you out because you drive a beautiful car, you live in an amazing home, and everything as far as the others are. When everybody else is looking at you, it looks like you got it all. But in the recesses of your bedroom at night, when you climb in the covers and you're exhausted out of your mind, that there's got to be more for you. I'm calling you out today, and I know you're gonna write me, and I love it. Okay. Because I know no one's telling the truth to you. And I'm going to ask you to surrender your ego and just trust. I've coached thousands of giants, women just like you who are incredible at what they do, and they're impact makers. But the deal is we've got to take care of you, all right, so that you can sustain the gift and the giving. All right. And sometimes we're going to talk with that. Hey, Dove, Deirdre, it's good to see you. I'm going to break this all the way down today. My only goal is to support you. As always, I always say you have to be ready for a powerful message. And so if you're ready, I would like you to write, I'm ready. Okay. Because you have to be ready for a powerful message. If you're watching the replay, I want you equally to write, I'm ready. All right. Because we have to be ready to receive, right? Ask, right, and you shall receive. Okay, but you gotta want it. All right, so I'm ready to get started. Who is ready? You post the comments here. Janet is here. Truth is freedom, she writes. Awesome, I love it. Deirdre writes, preach and teach. Right. Paula says, I'm ready. Yaya Smith, take care of you so you can sustain the gift and the giving. Yaya Smith is an amazing coach. You guys should follow her 100%. Felicia Hayes is ready. Tawan is ready. Jeanette is ready. Kay is ready. And I'm so excited, right? Because you got to be ready. All right. So the topic today is how to stop doing it all and start doing less well. And I think doing less well for me is a lifestyle. It's something I want to share. And it's so important that, when we learn how to build a life that's based on leverage, that we don't just keep it to ourselves, that we share that. That is my goal, is to support my clients in building a business so that they're no longer codependent, right? Codependent on their spouse for income, or codependent on their job, that you have options. I've supported so many women in being able to build their businesses to 6 figures and beyond. And I love the independence that they have. I love the sense of freedom that they have, or security that they have, understanding that they have the ability with their skills and their talents to be able to monetize. See, if your family ever really and truly needed you because you knew how to stand in the gap for yourself first, you could stand in the gap for them. And some of us, we've got this all mixed up. We're standing in the gap for everyone else, but we've forgotten about ourselves. Number one, how to stop doing it all and start doing less well. Number one is you got to understand this. You got to understand that being smart is only one part of the equation. See, a great life is a leveraged one. I'm going to break this down again. Let me just repeat this, okay? Being smart, okay, is just one part of the equation to achieve whatever it is that you want. And I know that you've been rewarded in this life because you are smart and you're incredible. And where you go, people want to know what you know. And so doors have opened for you. You've been hired to do all kinds of incredible things. You likely have letters behind your name because of what you've done, or people, open opportunities for you over and over again. But being smart is only part of the equation. What I know is true is that a great life is a leveraged one. And if you're living this life, right, you get up every single morning and you share your intellect with others. You give it away, okay? And you might be giving it away to someone else in their job, your corporation, your company. And at the end of the day, you're not able to leverage the intellect that you have this year, okay, for yourself. There's not a slice for you to be able to monetize what you're doing, all right? Then how do you create ease for yourself? I learned this a long time ago, that I wanted to figure out how to take what I knew how to do, how to put it in a package, how to put it in a structure that it could live beyond me. Meaning that I've got 88 courses that I've created over the years, being 20 years in business. And each of those courses have a value to them. They can be sold beyond me. I've assigned that to my daughter, right? Within my company. You got to understand where I'm coming from. So this idea that you you, okay, and your knowledge and your smarts, that are you able to transfer all of your life's work, what you've done for yourself? Are you able to leverage what you know how to do through books and courses and curriculum? Are you able to license what you've got going on so that if you ever decided you needed a year off, 2 years off, 5 years off, or you don't want to go back to work, you want to retire early, can you? All right. And I want to come at you a little tough today because so many women I work with who are incredibly smart and you work incredibly hard. The deal is you're like, I love what I'm doing. I get it. I got it. Okay. But the reality is that if you want your life to get easier, then let's look at a way that you can take what you know how to do and put it in a high value structure so that that intellect can work without you having to work so hard, so that you can create options for yourself. Am I clear? Is this making sense? If this is making sense, I want you to write, this is making sense. It's so important. And I see so many smart women who sign away their intellect. They don't understand the value of what they've got. So any person that comes along and says, teach me, can I pick your brain? You don't understand how to value it and how truly you could create tremendous freedom for yourself and for your family if you knew how to take your knowledge and put it in a completely different structure. And it's what I'm into. All right. So being smart is only one part of the equation. The question I have for you right now is, how are you taking your knowledge and putting it in a package that fully values what you know how to do? Or do you always have to trade time for dollars in order for you to earn? Okay. Because there's more to life than that. We're talking today about how to stop doing it all and start doing less well. Okay. And I'm a big fan of being able to take your knowledge and package it in many different ways to be able to support the people that need what you have. And if you don't know how to do that, then I definitely could support you in that. Number two. All right. How to stop doing it all and start doing less well. Number two is working and earning exclusively based on your ability to perform. Okay. And you don't understand anything about the magic of duplication. I'm going to repeat this because this one is like one of those, you got to think about this for a minute. Okay. So if you're working and earning and it's based only on your ability to perform, okay, then you don't understand the magic of duplication. There's something really powerful about it not being just about you. And if you aren't operating in this space, and in order for you to earn, okay, you have to be the person that shows up to earn, then there's something missing here. In my work model, I coach clients on Tuesdays. That's it. I have some private consulting clients, not many. Not many. I work 1 day a week, 3 hours, 1 day a week. That's what I do. Okay. I come in my office at 1:00 each and every day. I've been training the team members, so sometimes I come in early to get her trained. However, my motto is I come in at 1:00 each and every day. I have duplicated myself in my business. That has allowed me to create freedom in my business. I just want to break this down because if you don't know someone that's living this way, okay, because a lot of you have been told by all these coaches online that it's about hustling and it's about grinding and it's about putting your head down and all of these things. It's about running from one event to the next event to sell what you've got to do. And that is not the way I run my business. It's not the way I run my company. I've never built my business as a coach, as a speaker. I work from the comfort of my home. I don't trade time for dollars. I have one consulting call. I coach one to many. And if you don't understand the magic of duplication, I am telling you that you are working way harder than necessary. Okay. If you just apply what I'm saying here in step one, which is packaging your knowledge into a high ticket product, you could offer something to someone and never ever have to be there. Duplicating who you are, the power of your knowledge reaching other people without you physically having to be there. It's something that you have to have an expansive mindset in order for you to appreciate. But I can tell you for sure that a great life is a leveraged one. And if you don't have systems that allow you to duplicate your knowledge to be able to reach more people, one to many, then you need to learn how to do that, because that's what wealthy people do. Wealthy people are not just doing things just one to one. Okay, they understand that time is your asset. For me, I don't make any money sending out an email, checking Facebook. I don't make money from that. Okay. I'm a coach and consultant. I help people package what they do into high ticket products and services. That's the only thing that I have to focus on. Content creation, really supporting my clients and taking their ideas and selling them for $2,500 or more. That's it. That's what I get paid to do. Okay, period. Everything else in my life is outsourced. I don't do it. Okay, just saying. There's a magic in duplication, and some of you are just doing too much. And when you look back and you're like, why? I mean, in a day, I'm always working, but you're not realizing your goal is because you don't have this practice as a part of what you're doing. I'm breaking this down. If you're getting value, I'd love for you to let me know. I'm getting value. Me, if you're watching the replay, let me know also that you're getting value. I told you it was going to be a hard hitting today. I wanted to do this because, you guys watch me all the time, right? You watch me all the time. And, I always speak from my heart. I always speak from my truth. And I'm coming off of the Giant Experience Master Training this weekend. Sharp, incredible, brilliant, amazing women. We had yet again another incredible class of women who get it, right? And who have taken that step to understand that, listen, there is more to me than the way I am living. That I can take what I've been doing all these years and package it, and I can work with greater ease and grace. Even if I didn't know how to do it, I could learn how to do it. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, I didn't know you were going to be here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, number 3, the third thing, working so much that you don't get to live your life. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I know I just called you out, working so much that you don't get to live your life. And I know this is the case. You're not working just 40 hours. You're working 50 hours. You're working 70 hours. And the reality is that you are working so much at the hospital, right? At the firm, at the company, okay, that you have not even gotten to experience your life for, let's say, has it been 1 year? Would it have been 5 years? 10 years, okay? And so you feel like a visitor stepping inside of your life, right? You get the cliff notes of the highlights of what's happening with your family. Why? All in the name of work. See, how to stop doing it all and understand that doing less is where it's at, so that you're not in a place where you go another decade and you are visiting. Adriana, you just signed up for the Giant Experience coming in December, right? And you're going to learn a different model on how to take what you're doing and put it in a structure that has high value for you so you can live differently. The idea of that being acceptable for you to live that way is a very low standard. Okay, it's a very low standard. And I want to call you out around this because, see, your friends are going to call you out around it because you smell like success. But the reality is that life is meant to be lived, okay? None of our days are promised. And you and I both understand you might not have 5 years or 10 years or whatever it is, right? And this notion that you live for the free ride, which is called the vacation, and that you have to get permission. You have to get permission for you to live your life or live your best life. And that living your best life means that you get to go away for a set period of time. And that experience is supposed to be a higher value experience than the life that you live every day. I will tell you for sure that if that's the case, the priorities are mixed up. I think you need to build a life you want to come home to. And I actually think that being home, being in your home, being able to enjoy your home, your bed, your life, your chair, your kids, your husband, your dog, whatever it is, right? Your garden is something that is essential to having a good life. And anyone that told you anything other than that, so many of us have been chasing the dream, and what we've ended up doing is creating a nightmare. I just want to break it down for you because maybe no one's going to tell you that, because when they walk through the doors of your home, you've got amazing furniture. You've got it all looks amazing. Okay, but it's a glass house, and just like I know, that you're broke at another level. You're broke. Your relationships are broken. You're broke. You don't know yourself anymore. If you had to choose 5 things, 10 things that you like to do, you do not know you anymore because you live to work. I'm breaking this down, and I told you it was going to be tough today. I want to shake your shoulders. My only goal in love, all right, is to have this conversation with you, okay, with you. Because I know when you're successful and you're sharp and you do great things, that no one ever will pull you up and say there is more to your life than work. but I'm telling you there is. Okay, you need to build a business around your life. Number four, okay, number four. Oh my goodness, and this is totally gonna take you there. Okay, number four is making exhaustion part of your life system. Okay, look, I'm telling you, when you've made exhaustion a part of your system, your life system, it's something that you experience every day. See, exhaustion has become like a mainstay, sort of like hunger, right? Like I'm hungry, I'm exhausted. And that becomes the language every single day. It becomes the culture, your culture with you because of the life that you've built for yourself. I'm calling you out. I'm telling you that that is a toxic belief. The idea that money matters more than your well-being, okay, already tells you you're not congruent. And I want to challenge you right now, okay, that to look at that, to understand for sure that you have the ability, the skill, and the talent to be able to take what you're doing, put it in a completely different structure. You do not have to work that way. You have more options than you know. Okay. Yes, you can trust yourself. And sometimes when you are really, really talented, the hard thing for many of us is to launch something new, because if you do what you know, then you know that you're gonna do well, right? Because you're already doing well. But when you start something new, sometimes there's that fear of failure because you haven't failed in 5 years, 10 years, or 20 years because you've never launched something. But I want you to know you can do this. You can do it. I see it all the time. I work with women all the time that they have decided for themselves, I'm going to create a transition plan for myself because exhaustion is not a sustainable lifestyle that I want to continue to live. And you know whether or not this resonates with you or not. All right. But if it does, I hope that it hits you somewhere in the center of your gut so that you understand you got to do something differently. Let me tell you the impact of exhaustion. The impact of exhaustion means that your relationships with the people who are closest to you it's that you are robbing them of you. See, if you don't know who you are, you can't give them the highest version of yourself. When you've got nothing else to give because of work, okay, and therefore you've got your children, they don't get to know who you are when you're fully expressed. I'm just breaking this down. All right, they don't get to know who you are. They don't know what you like, what your hobbies are, because you don't have any. All right, they don't know, they're watching you in your free time, which you're exhausted and you're tired. You're reading the book to them but not present with them. That's the you they get to know. Your spouse, you're expecting your spouse to inform your dating process, but yet you're too tired to enjoy it. You can't leave your cell phone because you're tied to work and you can't fully be in any moment, and you can't understand why the relationships that you have that are the closest, that should be the most intimate, feel the most distant. Okay, when exhaustion becomes part of your life system, you change. All right, and and maybe it's a sore topic. It's like, who's going to talk to you about that? But I want to break this all the way down for you. I hope that if you're here and you hear this, that it really supports you today. Number five. Okay. Oh, this is something. All right. For those of you who have said, I know I want to start a business and this is what I'm going to do, and you have launched. Number five, trying to glean and do it all because you can. So listen to me, okay? I know you're smart. I know you're capable. You've already done amazing things. We got that straight. But the reality is that sometimes it can be a blessing and a curse. And the reality, hey there, Robin, is that sometimes because we can do it all, we do it all. And maybe you're just not meant to do it all. There is a quicker, faster way to do things. And sometimes it's not about you, plowing through material, listening to a million audios, by yourself, right? Trying to figure out these things by yourself. Sometimes you need a guide that will take you and show you the quickest and fastest way to do it. I see this a lot with smart and sharp women. They're like, I'll just figure out how to do this webinar myself. I've never done it. The problem is you don't know what you're missing. Sometimes you don't know the back end of the strategy. You've got the front end thought process, but you don't know what you don't know. And maybe what you don't know is the thing that impedes your success or or the volume of your success, right? So trying to glean and do it all from the front end. Sometimes people make things look so easy, but it's always what you do not know. I know for me, it was something that I had to surrender to for myself. I realized I knew how to build curriculum. I am, of course, I am an instructional designer by trade, a trainer, and I knew how to do that in my sleep, but I didn't know how to build the business of coaching. And at the end of the day, for those of you who are coaches, who are consultants, who are doing licensing deals, who are looking to build an amazing business based on your intellect, if you don't know how to build the business that you're in, it's more complicated than you think, okay, when you're trying to put together all the moving parts. But when you have someone that walks you along step by step and shows you exactly what you need to focus on in this moment, you can shore up the results in the process. I'm a witness to this. I took what I learned how to do. I transferred that to my clients step by step. I showed them exactly what I do, piece by piece, exactly what I do each and every Tuesday night. And the reason that we have so much proof, and the reason that we have so many testimonials from my clients, and I'm not being braggadocious about it, I'm telling you the truth, okay? The facts that you can see for yourself, is because they are doing exactly what I have done. And I have worked through the things that do not work, okay? And I only share with them the things that I have tested, and I eliminate all other things. So if you're trying to glean something from the front end, you have from one webinar to the next webinar to another live to this free download, and you're trying to piece together your $1 million dream, it's the reason you haven't hit $1 million, okay? All right. I'm just breaking this down in love. I want you to get this. All right. Number six, how to stop doing it all and start doing less well. Number six, you need to learn from someone who lives at the level of your desires. All right. You need to learn from someone who is living at the level of your desires. Okay. Did you hear me? Okay. No. I didn't say PhD. Okay. No. I didn't say research. No, I didn't. Listen, of your desires. Okay. Look at your mentors right now, right? And ask yourself, do they have the freedom that you desire? Do they have the lifestyle that you desire? See, a lot of times when we choose our mentors and our coaches in the conventional space, we choose people based on status. We choose people based on our ego. Dr. So-and-so, I'm working with so-and-so, right? It makes you feel a certain kind of way. But at the end of the day, I'm just breaking this. Look, if you don't like it, turn it off, right? That's what I'm just saying, okay? But you got to learn from someone who is living in a way that's congruent with the way you want to live. I know this to be true. I chose my coach for the only reason I picked her was because she was the only person I saw who had true freedom. And my motto has always been, if you're not free, you cannot teach me. I built my business only to be a full-time entrepreneur. I didn't build my business for my kids. I didn't build my business for my husband. I'm being honest with you guys. I built my business for freedom. I knew that whether I decided to run a business or not, my kids were going to have 3 square meals. They have a roof over their head. They would be loved and cared for. What I didn't know is, was I going to be free? Okay. And I did not want to work 9 to 9 for the rest of my life, for a decade, 2 decades, 3, 4 decades. I had to get myself free. So the first thing I did was I decided to invest with a person who was free. Now, this is the test, guys. You want to know if somebody's free? Are they home during the day? Or are they, are living around the world, living their life around the day? See, so a lot of us have been told or sold a bill of goods, right? We've had people say, I'm free. I'm a full-time entrepreneur. They're working full 40, 60 hours a week. I'm not putting anybody down. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'm telling you that if you want your life to get easier, you need to learn from someone that is already living at the level of your desires. My coach would go to Mexico from November. She's there right now, from November through January. And that's where she lived, right? And then she'd go from there. She goes to Atlantic City, and then she goes from there. She goes to Philadelphia, and she could run her business like that. And I was like, I want to build a business like that my own way. Okay, I want to have the freedom, and I built a business that allows me to own my time, that I have no capacity around my income, and that's what I want for you. okay? Because it's a different level of living. It's a different level of access that you have with your kids in your life, right? All of those limitations where someone tells you you get 2 weeks, like you're on a hamster wheel, right? And you're like, you get 2 weeks, and it's like, woo, right? Like, yay, yo, yum, oh, goody, right? You can actually live your life and have freedom. So you need to have a mentor that lives at the level of your desires. And sometimes we have to check those desires because most often they're around ego. Okay. And your status will keep you broke and stuck. I will tell you, it's like spending money you don't have to hang out with people you really don't like. Or like that's what status is. Sometimes it's having a title that does nothing but suffocate you because you are not living at the level that you would like to live. You're not having true lifestyle. Okay. All right. Are we clear? Okay. If we're clear, okay. All right. I want you to write, I'm clear. I told you it was going to be a tough lot today. I wanted to break it down because I love the fact that you've done what you need to do, right, to create amazing talent. I just want you to know this more for you. Number 7 is don't allow your network that doesn't have evidence of a proven life of ease and grace to advise you on how to design your life. Okay. I'm going to repeat it. Don't allow your network that does not have evidence of a proven life, okay, of ease and grace to advise you on how to design your life. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes because sometimes as a professional, we are around other professional people, right? And they living just like you. And that you guys are all starting to talk about how you can live the most amazing life. The challenge is that nobody in that group's free. And everybody else in that group is strangled around trading time for dollars. And everybody that you're talking to, while you might be making $250 an hour, $500 an hour, $1,000 an hour or more, okay, and you're feeling really good pulling up in your Range Rover and your Mercedes, blah, 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 or whatever it is, and it all looks good. But I can tell you for sure that there's something amazing about hanging around people who are really free, who own their time. And the way they talk about their life is completely differently. And it is not just about work. It is not just about a vacation. It is not about a glimpse in a moment of an experience, right? That you got to get some time off and finally get permission to go see your kid, at their sport or their game or at a play. It's a whole different conversation around lifestyle and being able to be present for the things that matter most. And I wanted to call you out, okay, because I think it's so important to have that conversation because if this resonates with you, you know that you don't have anyone in your peer circle right now that I call giants, women who are action takers, go-getters, go-givers, who are creating a transition plan for themselves so they can live their lives differently. But it's a whole different conversation. I can tell you, I have some neighbors that they're nice people. But I've always worked outside of the box. And initially in building my business and my model, they just couldn't quite wrap their head around like, what could you be doing from the comfort of your home? Think this is radical. I've been working for the comfort of my home for 20 years. What could you possibly be doing? Okay, really? Okay, creating freedom. Okay, observing the masses doing the opposite, building a life based on leverage, understanding that my intellect is my freedom ticket. Okay, packaging what I know. Okay, fully valuing the transformation I bring to the table, understanding that legacy is important, building products that can live beyond me. Okay, that's what I'm doing. All right. So I just want to break that down for those of you who maybe you've not thought about this before, and that'll help you. And number eight, you might like it, you might not, is oh goodness, is that sometimes you have to humble yourself and understand that sometimes I have to reread my handwriting to make sure I'm clear. So let me just reread this here, okay? Oh goodness. Okay. All right. Number 8 is you got to humble yourself and understand that it's not about what you know. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in on this for a minute because see the challenge is sometimes when you're really smart, you start thinking about, well, I already know this. I've already done this. And so when you're thinking about who you're gonna work with, your coaches, your teachers, and your mentors, you often discount the fact that you need them because you frame life based on what you know. But I want you to understand this, that it is the differential of what you don't know. So it's what you don't know, okay, that really gets in the way of really what you want. And if you aren't living the life that you desire yet, likely there is something that you do not know. I know for myself that I had to humble myself. I had to become teachable and coachable with my coach. It had nothing to do with what I knew. I know how to create products, before I met her. That's just what my background, my training is. But it had nothing to do with it. I didn't know how to build an amazing coaching business. I had no idea how to do it. So I had to humble myself and I had to focus on not what I know. I literally zip my lips. Like I zip my lips. I surrender my ego because your ego is not your friend. And this idea, some of us have some challenges when we're around people who we think, teachers or who are mentors or however you might refer to them, that know more than you. But when you got to understand that that's your responsibility. If you want to live the life that you desire, you got to humble yourself and you got to go get it. And it's not about what you know, it's actually about what you don't know that they know. And that is where you recognize where the growth is. Socrates says that learning begins when you recognize what you do not know. And so many sharp, smart people only focus on what they know. And it is a blind spot. And if that's you, and you're like, I'm going to get a coach, but I know how to do a webinar. I know how to build a course. I know it's what you don't know. Okay. Because I see it all the time. Like I look at businesses all the time. It's like, okay, it's sometimes it's just that degree shift, it's just that small tweak, but that small tweak is everything, and it changes everything in your life and in your business and forever. So that's what I have for you. Today I talked about how to stop doing it all and start doing less well. And I broke this all the way down. I'd love to hear your favorite aha or takeaway. I'll do a recap while you post your favorite aha and takeaways. And then I'll run through some of the comments that are here. Thank you so much. You could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here today. And I appreciate you for doing that. If you're not already connected with me, you can always stay connected to me at miaredrick.com. I'll post that here in the chat. There, you'll see my free webinar link. You can check out my Giant Experience Master Training if you're interested in packaging your knowledge into a high ticket offer or structure. Okay. All right, here's the recap. Post your ahas, post your takeaways. All right. Number one is understand that being smart is only part of the equation. Okay. That a great life is a leveraged one. And if leverage doesn't exist in your current life, you're working way too hard. Number two, working and earning based exclusively on your ability to perform. It means that you have no duplication happening in your life, in your world. And that is why you're tired. Number three, work so much that you don't get to live your life. If that's true for you. If you climb in your bed each and every day and you wish, man, when you fall in your bed and there's no savoring in your life, there's no savoring in the morning when you get out. It's just, you're just living the work. There's more for you. All right. And I want more for you. All right. So I want to call you out. Number four, making exhaustion part of your life system. Sometimes, that's just so toxic. Imagine that you are so tired, your fingernails hurt, but you just sustain that level of exhaustion over and over again. It's not called lifestyle. Okay. It's called punishment. Number five, trying to glean and do it all because you can when there's an easier way. Kimberly, this is an easier way, and you deserve so much more than that. And that's why I wanted to talk about it. Number six, learn from someone who lives at the level of your desires. Whoever you decide to work with, make sure you're learning from someone who's free the way you want to be free. Okay. Who has sustained freedom. I actually wrote a note to myself that said 5 years or more. See, when you get free, you want to stay free. There are a lot of fake people who say I'm free and they're not free. I'm talking about getting free and staying free. All right. That means that they've got a sustainable system and process, or that equally that they have the ability to help other people get free. A lot of my clients have gotten free as a result of my strategies. Number 7, don't allow your network without evidence of a proven life of ease and grace to advise you on how to design yours. Sometimes our peer circle, we're around people who are just as broken as us, but we look good and we smell better. Okay. Because we can afford that show. But behind the curtains, or the kind of life that you want to live, right? Number 8, humble yourself and understand that if you are only focusing on what you're missing out. Okay. A great life is when you recognize what you do not know and you humble yourself and you learn from someone that has been there, that has done that has gotten a postcard, and you allow that person to guide you. And if you don't have the ability to do that, you're like, oh, they just know too much. Oh, they're just too you need to check yourself. Okay. I recommend the first thing you need to do is read the book Success Principles. The second thing is likely read How to Win Friends and Influence People. And the third thing is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. Read that book. Okay. Because if your ego prevents you from submitting to someone that is living a life at the level of your desires, you got to get yourself straight. Right. So I just want to break it down. I hope this supports you. Now I'm going to run through some of the comments that are here. I appreciate each and every one of you for your comments. Yaya Smith says, this is making sense. Make sure you follow her. Kay Abrams says, making sense. Linda and Yaya says, you are bringing it as always. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love you. Paula is saying, this is making sense. And Adrian says, it's been 8 years. 8 years, it's time for a change, right? Giant Experience, you'll be there in December. I'm super excited to be able to support you. And she says, yes, ma'am. Marie says, so true. One of our day. None of our days are promised. Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate you feel that, right? Like, I love it. So true, so true, so true. Adrian writes, you are so right. I gave up my successful practice to work less so I could focus and invest in me. And Adriana, we are going to have a great time in December. I am so excited about supporting you and helping you realize like what's on the other side of this giantness inside of you, this huge and incredible opportunity to take your knowledge and put it in a structure that is highly valued, to position yourself in the marketplace as the obvious choice, because there is only one Adriana, right? And so for us to really understand what that uniqueness is, so that we can then attract your ideal clients so that they come directly to you. Competition is irrelevant when you position yourself the right way. I am so excited to support you. Okay, Robin, so you are so right, Mia. I appreciate you. I can't do it all. That's right, Felicia. And right, I am a special educator, right? And Felicia, she said, dang, Mia. Okay, I know. Robin says, absolutely. And you have shown us all year, and we appreciate you. I try to lead from the front. You guys, my clients all lead from the front. We just live in truth and transparency. It's so important. Frida, a lot of women of color specifically, we've been sold a bill of goods. We've been told, look, you got to be twice as good. You got to work twice as hard. That it's not possible for you to build a business based on leverage. And I want you to know that is not true. That is the business that I have built. That is the company that I've created. Okay, Felicia, and I want more women to join me in understanding that, look, it is absolutely possible to build a business that's not based on you performing, having to show up somewhere. You got it? Okay, we're all clear. Okay. Is that Madden says crystal clear. Okay. And Robin says, I'm clear. Thank you for the information. I appreciate you. Adrian says, status is doing a job you hate in order to maintain a lifestyle. Well, sometimes, Adrian, you just have to fan, like sometimes something is so good, it just deserves to be fanned, right? And that is so true. So true. And let's get out of that club. Tara, I'm so glad that you are checking in, that you're here. Adrian says, Okay, Adrian, that was so good. That we got to replay. Status is working a job you hate. Okay, in order to achieve a lifestyle you want. So good. Felicia says she's laughing, and yeah, we don't know everything. That's right. Robin says, haha, oh, we, right? It is definitely what you don't know. I've got so much more to learn. Sometimes we just have to humble ourselves, and literally, that's my website. You guys can go there. You can sign up for my free webinar. If you've never watched it, it's pretty good. It teaches you how to package what you know is a good first start. It's totally free. Kimberly says, yes, I agree. Linda says, humble yourself and realize what you don't know. I have to stop focusing on what I do know in order to grow. That was your biggest aha. Isn't that it's when you're really smart, Linda, it's like the thing that has allowed you to create successes. I know this, I got this, but sometimes as we grow and we want to scale our life, it's not about what you know, it's the differential. It's like, what don't you know? Okay. And it's really being in the company, having an appetite to be in the company of people who know something that you do not know. And you have to seek those folks out, like literally. Okay. Adriana says, learn from someone who is living at the level of your desires, someone who has true freedom. I think that's 5+ years or longer, 5 or more years that they've been a full-time entrepreneur. The goal is to get free and to stay free 100%. Okay. And Madian, I want to know how to say your name. I'm going to tell Timmy. You're going to have to send me a voicemail so I can know how to say your name properly. Eminem. Okay, I needed to hear you, right? I am so glad you're here and you're beautiful. Blue, you look gorgeous. Okay. And Linda says, I'm also working on duplication and putting a system together. Freedom is the key. Okay. Freedom is the key. Madian. Okay. Madian. There we go. Got it. All right. I appreciate you for doing that. I appreciate you. All right. Any other ahas or takeaways? Was this good or was this good? Okay. All right. Was this good or was it good? Okay. I'm so excited that you joined me for today. I told you this is going to be a tough one, but if you know someone that will resonate from this, share, right? Like, let's not keep this goodness to ourselves, right? Only reason I come here live on Mondays is to pay it forward. My only goal is that the people that follow me will be the messengers, that you guys are the messengers, that you share this with someone else that you know this will resonate. And my goal is to support you 100% when you're ready with taking your knowledge and packaging it into a high ticket structure on or offline. Now, understand that you might not know what it's going to be today, but it's something that's inside of you, likely a soft skill, a hard skill, something you've been doing forever, right? You just have a strong confidence in it. And as a result of that, you have the ability, right, to create amazing life for yourself, right, on your own terms. Janet says, great, I needed to hear the raw. Okay, awesome. Great, Janet, you were just at the Giant Experience. How amazing. Okay, and I have to say, you and your brilliant self, okay, I appreciated you. Robin says number 6 resonated with you. Number 6 was, Robin, I got to go back and see. It was number 6 because, learn from someone who lives at the level of your desires. Absolutely. That's a really powerful one, Robin. Sonia, welcome to the live. I'm glad you're here. Janet, awesome. Lisa, you were just at the Giant Experience yesterday, right? She says, I'm going back to listen to the entire thing, but I already know I used this today after the Giant Experience this weekend, turned over some stuff in my personal life and gave it back to who it belonged to. It wasn't mine to carry. Just let it go and make room for what's next. How cool. Raw truth. Joyce says, sharing now. Joyce, I appreciate that. Go givers to me or everything in my business. I always think, like, why don't people have capacity to give? What is that all about? Okay, like, are you serious? All right. And like, what do we need to do in our own life to be able to understand that a great life is one where you can share the goodness in your world? That's right. Hi, Janet, my cohort member. You guys were just at the Giant Experience this past weekend. Yes, Janet, right. And it was awesome. It was awesome because you guys were awesome. You guys were amazing. This class was amazing. Okay. We had every profession you guys could imagine, okay, represented. It was an absolute incredible. Number 6, Kimberly, number 6, learn from someone who lives at the level of your desires, right? Lisa says, roll it on the floor laughing. What was that? Okay. Dr. Michelle, well, like she said, you were there, Michelle. Amazing, you. Okay. It was so eye opening, and I work with giants, and those are the only people I want to work with, and elevate. The possibilities of what that looks like. I have to tell you that, in all full transparency, that the work that I have to do in myself to be able to call out women who are brilliant and amazing in their own right. Like the women that come to the Giant Experience, the room is filled with like incredibleness. And I'm not hyping this. So you guys that came, you already know the women that I attract are just incredible. So, but my job is not to leave you there, right? It's to raise the room, right? Because it's so incredible, because they didn't come because of where they are. They came for what they're looking for. They're next. And that's my job. That's my job. All right. Where they at, right? They're at the Giant Experience. And Dr. Michelle says hello to her cohort. Lisa says, Dr. Michelle, our cohort, hidden figure, STEM at its best, amazing. And Dr. Janet, nursing the healthcare industry back to health, another member of your cohort of the Giant Experience this weekend. It was amazing. And the coolest part is, I always tell you guys that 30 days from now, you'll have the opportunity to hear the stories of the women and what they've accomplished, because that's just what it is. And you can either watch what happens or join what happens. I love you. Okay. I hope you have an amazing night. You are incredible. And watch this live. Okay. Be good to yourself. I love you. Have an amazing day. I'll see you next Monday at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night.